Toyota Prius. This model has always been a controversial car, a bit like a mermaid, you either love it or hate it. Personally, I love this model and probably one of the only people to speak highly of the car without worrying about other journalists' opinion. The Prius doesn't seem to need advertising. Has anyone seen a Toyota Prius advertisement on television? The controversial appearance of the 4th generation Prius has been met with the avalanche of positive and negative comments, but I'm sure Toyota will agree, any publicity is good publicity. The 4th generation Prius Prime comes with a much larger battery than the equivalent hybrid version, and looks very similar to the Mirai model, which I'm a big fan of as well. By now, most of you will have probably had enough hearing about my praise for Toyota design team, so let's start the presentation of beautiful Toyota Prius Prime plug-in. The Prius Prime stands out in very way, from full LED Bugatti-like matrix headlights to the beautiful designed front bumper with indicators that are unique to this model, which makes the car look futuristic. The coloring of the car has also been very carefully thought out. The combination of blue and black creates the perfect composition. The sideline of the car looks just as impressive with its large front door windows. The rear windows are slightly smaller, but then again it's not a CHR, so no need to worry. The sloping roofline in the back does make it difficult for anyone over 6 feet 2 to get comfy. Looking at the rear of the car, you can see Toyota have stuck with the bold styling with direction headlamps, which are similar to those at the front. There is also a two-toned bumper underneath the Toyota vertically lower split back window, which does help enormously when parking. You can open and lock the car in two ways, using the traditional key, or in this case a remote control. Or you can slide your finger across the door handle with the key in your pocket, which is very James Bond. And if you do your homework, you will find a feature on the previous generation. The doors are very solid and are covered with the two types of material. The armrest of the door is soft, and the upper parts of the door is very nice to touch. This piece of plastic is hard, just like the bottom of the door. Let's have a look inside. The steering wheel is very comfortable and multifunctional. In fact, from the steering wheel we can control most of the function available in the car. Continuing their new style, Toyota has made the dashboard with the same two materials as the door. This part is soft and this part is hard. The upper part of the dash also gently bends. The main display screen has been very solid mounted. In the center of the dashboard you will find a very modern 8-inch LCD touchscreen, and just below you will find the air condition and climate control. Look at the little lower and you will see the gear stick and the buttons to select your driving mode and parking brake. Underneath the joystick, hidden away, you will find a button to heat your front seat. The central column has inductive charger for your smartphone, two drink holders, an electrical outlet, an external audio jack, and armrest. The armrest obviously opens, and inside we have a small shelf where Toyota kindly left me a tip. When you take the shelf out, there is a generous amount of space, and even more generous a pair of glasses that someone has left in. Thank you Toyota, but they are not my style. It's worth nothing that the bottom of the storage box is lined with a nice material and is quite deep, managing to hide a 500ml bottle of water upright. The glove box isn't too big at all, but still has a room for your gearbox instruction and logbook. door there is a space for half-liter bottle of water. The front seats are very large and comfortable, and have been properly profiled with a sub-table adjustable headrest. The top half of the car has the standard sun visor, with the mirror and the light that activate when you slide the cover. In the middle you have the interior lights and the driver's side sun visor. Also comes with a mirror and lights. What is really impressive is that the dashboard forms a single unit with the door. Here each part meets each other and looks very good and kindly of resembles of my old Avensis Verso. On the other side of the steering wheel we find the buttons to setting the battery charging time, automatic parking, head-up display and ESP switch. The visibility is very good and clear, the windscreen is very big and you can see a lot more than you think. The side windows are large size too, creating a panoramic view outside of the car. The exterior mirrors may not be the biggest, however the reflection view makes you think they are double the size. The visibility to the rear is limited by the D-pillar, while the bottom of the tailgate makes it very easy to see what there might be behind the car. Of course we do have the camera here. The camera shows you the end of the boot and the registration plate. The lines on the screen respond to the steering wheel movement. In addition you can go into the menu. You can select 3 different options for how you would like the white line to show up. If you have ever wondered what the real distance is between the bumper and the red line, I will show you now. The tripod is exactly where the red line is. The car starts with the power button, which launches a large display at the top with all the information you need and much more. We can freely operate the display option from the steering wheel. I will add that it's very intuitive, and even when I got in the car first time, I found no problem using most of the options that the car has to offer. I will quickly show you some specific functions. There is no question that the Prius Prime is a big car. We have a lot of space in both the front and back, but first let's start at the front. Let me just sit down and get the right position. I have enough leg and headroom. You can adjust the steering wheel in 2 ways. If someone would like to complain about it, I suggest you lower your seat. It is worth noting that it has electric adjustment for the lumbar, support in the driver's seat. I hope this is clearly visible on your screen. At the back we have plenty of room available, but the back seats were only designed for 2 people. Yes, the Prius Prime is 4-seater with only 2 seats in the back. But what kind of seat? I'm sure the president of Rolls-Royce wouldn't mind traveling in the back. Between the seat there is very comfortable armrest and 2 drink holders. Open the armrest and you see material at the bottom. The rear armrest is wider than the front, but not as deep. Here you can fit the same half-liter bottle of water, but lying down. And it also has a 12-volt electrical socket in between the front seat. We don't need to worry about the tunnel on the floor, because there is no room for third person. An easy adjustable headrest and feel like everything has been carefully crafted and very comfortable. The Toyota also didn't forget about baby seat anchors. Pay attention of the ventilation of the battery on both sides of the rear seat. The back seat pockets are very good size. The back doors are mostly made of hard plastic. The armrest is soft, and in the door pocket we'll find another place for our bottle. Let's see how much space there is for a person who is 6 feet 3. When I sit behind myself, I have no problem with the legroom. The back of the front seat are soft. Here you can feel the hard core in the seat, but as you see, even with my leg I don't touch the front seat. If I sat behind the passenger who is a little smaller, I would have even more space. Overhead it looks like this. If I was a little bit taller, I would be touching the roof. But enough about the space. Let's have a look at the boot. When you open the boot, you see a surprise. No, it's not my shopping box. These are cables provided by Toyota to charge the extra batteries. In the first bag, we have a charger for a normal 3-prong house socket, and the second cable for the fast charging in public areas. Because the extra battery in the boots takes up 150 liters of the 510 liters capacity, we are left with 360 liters of space in the hybrid. The floor is flat and we have a hook on both sides of the boot that hold a maximum load of 4 kg per hook. And one extra light on the right hand side. You can float the seat in one movement, but it floats in 2 levels. The upper level in the boot and the lower level in the back. The multimedia system can be controlled by your voice, touchscreen or manually on the steering wheel. The menu is so extensive that to review it all I would need to make another video. Let's check the navigation system. The sat-nav works just fine. You can zoom in and out of the map in 2 ways, using your finger like a smartphone or using the virtual slider. We can choose a destination manually like I'm doing now, or the voice control, which I will show you later. The destination I will choose is Glasgow. After a few seconds the destination is selected and we are ready to go. Time for the voice control option. Destination.
Say house number, street and town.
22 Main Street, Muirkirk.
Select a line number.
1.
Line 1. 22 Main Street, Muirkirk. Now, do you want to start route guidance?
Yes.
Starting route guidance.
The multimedia system will also guide you through the entire menu, which is a bit strange talking to the car, but that's the world we now live in.
Navi commands are destination, followed by the house number, street and town, enter country, enter town, enter postcode, enter street, enter house number.
Under the hood, we find a 4th generation hybrid drive consisting of a 1.8-liter petrol engine, a 4-cylinder VVTi in the Atkinson cycle and 2 electric engine. The first engine has 23 kW and 14 Nm. The second one is 53 kW and 163 Nm. Because it is a plug-in hybrid, it has a huge battery with a power of 8.8 kWh and weighs 130 kg. If you are charging the battery from home, it will take around 3 hours. When I arrived to pick this car up from the dealership, I had a surprise waiting for me. The car was delivered from the dealership 40 miles away the day before, and no one thought to plug it in to charge overnight. Well, the day was running away from me, so I cut my losses and had to take it as it was. I spent the rest of the day with the Prius in hybrid mode. When I left the car park, the car reported it was averaging 88 miles per gallon on its last journey, which looked very promising. I made a few trips of about 15 miles, and with each mile the MPG went down. Most of my journey I was traveling at 60 miles per hour on hilly roads, and the town isn't that flat either, which isn't ideal condition, but even so, I was averaging 55 miles per gallon. Well, to drive a hybrid properly, you might need to have a bit more experience than me. With a full battery, it would probably be quite a different situation. By the way, I didn't have much time to get to know the car fully, but there is always a next time. I will just add that was my second contact with the hybrid, so my full consumption shouldn't be taken with a pinch of salt. People with more experience would be able to achieve a better MPG. When it comes to driving the Prius, the car runs very well and very comfortable. The modern technology alone is worth the money. The interior of the car is well soundproofed, nothing like what other journalists are complaining about. The sudden acceleration of the car is lovely and sounds just as good as any other petrol car. In conclusion, if I were to decide on what car to buy today, then I would go for the Prius Prime. I would go for the future. And what do you think about the new Toyota Prius Prime? Please let me know in the comment below this video. Thanks for watching, take care of yourself and your 4 wheels.